Hello friends and welcome to another video lesson from DBOS Talks. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe and click the bell so that you can be notified of new uploads. In this video, we'll be learning how to do language translation with the use of Microsoft Word. So when we think of translation, language translation for that matter, chances are we'll be thinking of Google Translate, which is probably the world's most popular translation tool, isn't it? But what if we wanted to use it on Microsoft Word? What if we're already using Word at that moment and we don't want to switch over and open a browser and go to the website of Google Translate? We just wanted to use Word. That's what we'll be learning in this new video. So to start, let's open our Microsoft Word. Okay, I've already opened my Word. So there are two scenarios. One is that you already have an existing Word document, and the other is you're just typing or entering the text right now. So those are two scenarios. Okay. So in my case, I do not have a ready text. I will just type the letters, the words that I wanted to get translated into this Microsoft Word. Okay, I will start. So we have a couple of words here, and at first glance, we don't know what language it is. In your Word file, you can highlight, you can do a Control-A, do that, you can just highlight the text that you want to translate. And then in your menu, click on Review. And then here is Language, you click on Language. In the drop-down, you click on Translate. And then you click on Translate Selection. When you do that, a translator pane, PANE, will appear on your right side. And Microsoft Word, utilizing the internet at the background, it has a translation engine. And what it does, it tries to detect the language of that phrase, a bunch of words that you've entered or you've highlighted. It will detect the language. In this case, it has correctly detected the language as being Filipino. And by default, or maybe that's my setting, it's translated to English. You can change it. If you wanted to translate to some other language, you can just click on the drop down over here and choose your language. In my case, this is good enough. So what it did, the Microsoft Word's built-in translator, it automatically detected the language and it also automatically translated it. So here it is tama, diba, which is in Filipino, and it's been translated correctly to English as that's right, isn't it? Okay. Let's try another example. Okay. Before that, once you get here, it's been translated. There is a button here called Insert. So what it does is, what this means is, let's say you're good enough, you're satisfied with the translation, and then you wanted to replace the highlighted text on your Word with that translated text, you just click on Insert. So what it does is it replaces the text you have earlier highlighted. It gets replaced with the translated version. Okay, let's try another example. So in my case, like I said, there are two scenarios. One is that you have a ready file, a Word document, which you want to translate. The other is you're just entering text at that moment. Okay, so I will enter text again. Let me get my... Okay, so again, we enter some text, and you can also enter this same text here in this pane over here. But in my case, I will just put it in the Word document itself. So to translate, you highlight the text, the words that you want to translate. Okay. And like before, it automatically detected the language. Sometimes when it doesn't correctly detect the language, you can just freely specify the language by clicking on this drop down. Okay, so in my case, it has translated it automatically. So this one, mahalin ng mga kaaway mo, translated to English, love your enemies. Now you can also swap the positions of the two languages on the translator pane by clicking on this bidirectional arrow. Okay, but there's another really practical reason for using these bidirectional arrows. I'll show you later on. For now let's try some other language. Okay, In this example, we'll see the other purpose of these bidirectional arrows. Let's just say we were composing an email in a foreign language and wanted to check what we've written before sending it. So let's just say you were composing this email. You know some Spanish and you're not fluent, but you just wanted to do a check before sending it to your intended recipient. So you type in or you enter your text, and then since that it was not automatically detected correctly, then you specify the correct language. So I will type SPA and click on that. And okay, so what happens now is this. I've highlighted my text that I wanted to translate. Estoy muy preocupado, which is in Spanish. I have specified it in the dropdown as Spanish. And the translator of Microsoft Word automatically translated it into English as I am very worried. But when you were the one typing this, and then when you look at the translation, you're sure this is not what you meant. Okay, so what you do is you can click on the bidirectional arrows here, and then that means it will switch the positions of the English and the Spanish. So now the English goes to the top, and you can edit it from here because this one is, I believe this is not editable. So you edit it from here on the top pane, which is in white. So you will correct it according to what you expect it to be in English. So instead of I am worried, I would say I am busy. And after typing it, it automatically translated into Spanish as this. Estoy muy ocupado. Estoy muy ocupado, which is the correct word that we had in mind instead of the earlier word that was used, which is preocupado, which means worried. This is the right one, which I intended to use. Okay, so that's one usage of this bidirectional arrows over here. Now, if you wanted to replace this text with this text, okay, if you want to replace this text with this text, you can highlight it so it gets replaced, and then you can click on insert. So here it is, estoy muy ocupado, which means I am busy. Now let's try something else. I will again type my text in the Word document. Get that again. Okay, so the sentence is, Dios es contigo. So we highlight it. It's also in Spanish, and we'll highlight the text. Nope. Here, highlight. So, and then I will just switch this. Okay, so the top pane, the top part is in Spanish, the bottom is in English, and it is already correctly translated as God is with you. Now let's see something that we could use to our favor. So you have here the raw text that you wanted to get translated, and at the bottom, you will see the translated text. Let's just say you do something to the top text. I will type it in uppercase. So what happens is I replace the text at the top, one word, into uppercase, and automatically the translated text at the bottom also gets converted, that word, into uppercase. Okay, and then if you're fine, then you can also now click on the insert button, and the text here that was highlighted has been replaced. If you do not if you do not highlight the text over here, what happens is it will just append text. Append means add at the bottom, add at the end. So let's say I did not highlight over here. I will click on insert. This bunch of text will just get added to the existing one. See, let's see. See, so it's up to you. But if you wanted to replace the text over here, you highlight it or everything. You can do Control A, and then that's when you click your insert button. Okay, so we have learned, I hope, something new in this demonstration of one rarely used functionality or tool within Microsoft Word. Just one thing to note. I have tried this without internet connection and it was giving an error. So it's obviously leveraging on an existing internet connection for the Microsoft Word to reach out and use translation engine somewhere in the cloud, somewhere in the internet. So without internet connection, this will not work. Okay. So I hope you learned something new. And if you haven't subscribed, I do suggest you click subscribe and click the bell and spread the word. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.